All right, good to go. So,
Yeah.
tell me, sir, how are you and what's happening? Which part of India are you in?
Um, I'm from Calcutta, and a lot is happening around. More importantly, the game which is there right now on Kickstarter. But apart from that, everything else that's going around in India. So it's kind of like two things going around at the same time for us.
I know, I
But
know.
we're just almost at the end of funding in Kickstarter. We've reached 83%, or maybe a
Good,
little
good.
more by now. I'm not too sure. So we just have
Hmm.
a little more funding to remain to help fund this project so that we can bring this to life. That's where we are at right now.
Awesome. I just love your backdrop, the color scheme. It's
Yes, and
so.
all inspired this entire game as well. So it's all like very minimal and very black and white. We wanted to keep it this way for this particular game. So I love gray, so you can see that all these sketches
Same
are
here,
also
man.
made by.
Same here.
So
Oh, really? Okay. That's
yeah,
beautiful.
so these are all like black and white. So I love working with charcoal and all these things as well.
Fantastic. I mean, I'm so glad that we're actually doing this video. I mean, we started this initiative 2 years ago called Dice Talks. And the idea was, there's absolutely no content where an Indian could relate to, like hear from an Indian who's a hobby gamer, who's passionate about board games, and more than passionate, obsessed with board games and stuff like that, right?
True,
So
true.
we were like, okay, sorry, it's bloody hot here. Um, so we were like, okay, let's start. Big deal, you know. What do you need?
Absolutely.
Just a camera. There are plenty of people out there. So I'm really, really glad that we're doing this video, and especially of this very interesting game. Name plays animal thing. I'm sure this is triggering a hell lot of nostalgia in everyone who's going to watch this video. Uh,
Right.
so just a quick question: which is the most toughest alphabet in name plays animal thing?
But damn, it has to be Q, I think. you know, I mean, I
Right.
would have gone for a Z, but then, when you
Yeah.
think about it, okay, Z
You
is for
can quickly
zebra
think
and
of animals for Zed, yeah.
what's Q, and
This is
afterwards.
amazing, man. This is going back to like the summer holidays when we were kids, right? Oh, so cool.
Right,
And
right.
the beautiful thing is, it's a very age neutral, gender neutral game, and I'm assuming the gameplay is pretty quick to kind of teach to
Grasp.
someone.
Right. So this is like unlike the original name place animal thing, which I'm assuming we all must be familiar to, because as kids we've all played that game.
Right.
Uh, so this is like a very different version of the game.
Hmm.
So we tried to take the nostalgia part of it into the game by adapting the name to it, and then like as the name suggests, we have four different categories of cards basically. So this is a card game primarily, and it's a card deduction game.
Right.
So you have two category of cards. So this is like a pack of cards which comes inside the box, and if you open the box, so there are 32 cards right now. What we have, so something like
Okay.
this is a name card. So this is like a wizard.
Hmm.
Uh, then you have an animal card.
So,
Some
so what's the basic? If you had to like explain the game in 2 lines,
right.
uh, what would be the quick overview?
So this
Like,
is a card game in which you have to find the four missing cards which you hide in the beginning of the
ah,
game, and the
okay,
way you do it is with the way of dice and by asking questions depending on what's rolled on the dice. So
okay.
that's like overview of what the game is actually like.
So that's good. I mean, people who are familiar with Clue, I think they will immediately be like, "Oh, okay, this is a expansion
Right.
of the game mechanics, and the theme is relatable and stuff like that, right?" So that's
Uh,
good.
More than an expansion, it's we feel it's more of a contraction because
Okay,
instead of setting the entire board and having to move the pawns here and there, and then over there are just three categories, and over here we've increased that to four, and
right.
we've also made it expandable in such a way that you can play up to 6 to 8 players as well.
Okay,
So that's an expansion we might be releasing with the Kickstarter as well. So up to 8 players can play. So we feel that you can accommodate more people.
that's
Uh,
fantastic.
right. because in the pandemic, during the pandemic, when we were trying to play this game with the entire family, and we have a family of 7, and it was very difficult to
Wow.
get a board game on the table, and what 7 of us can play. And so we were finding to very difficult to actually find a game which kind of goes there. So we kind of made this game with the help of just normal playing cards at home. So we ended up destroying a lot of them from my father-in-law's collection. Actually, he loves collecting cards.
Oh
So
shit.
we had to scratch off whatever the name and the number on the cards were, and put whatever name, place, animal theme to it. And we play tested it a lot, and we in fact enjoyed quite a lot. And thanks to that, I guess like at least a lot of our game nights were very busy because we were ending up playing this game.
That's
And
fantastic. I mean, during the COVID, getting everybody at the table, not on the phone,
right,
play testing
right,
it with you.
exactly.
Are you putting everybody's names in the credits or the
Oh,
of the rule book?
absolutely, absolutely. We are putting everyone who has been involved, like even a lot of our friends, in fact, because they've all been stuck at home during the pandemic, and there was a time when no one we could meet and forget about going out.
Hmm.
So we made a PDF version of the game, and we had sent it to a lot of our friends. And ones who could print, that was good for them. Ones who couldn't print, they could again take a deck of cards and destroy it.
Fantastic. So
That's
it can be a PNP, it has the
right,
PNP
absolutely.
flavor to it as
Yes.
well. And
Yes.
so is it playable on Zoom, like, with multiple players? Can you
Um,
modify it a bit to play on Zoom or something like
I mean, we'll have to create a game on tabletop simulator or something, and
that?
then you
Okay.
can probably. But it's not a game where you can play it on Zoom by just calling out name, place, animal thing names. That's not what the theme is.
Right. I mean, so if another person has the game, all he
Mhm.
needs is the dice, right?
If another person has the game, but it will be difficult because you're randomly selecting cards in the beginning to hide it. So let's say if I'm hiding 4 cards
Yeah,
at the
so
beginning,
that
it's
goes into so the host can take care of it.
that basically goes into the sleeve over here. So there's a
Hmm.
sleeve which comes in the game, and you
Very nice.
basically just hide cards inside the sleeve. So 4 cards is what you put inside. So
Hmm.
these would be like something which is not going to be the same for me and for you. For example, if we are playing it on Zoom.
Hmm.
So, but let's say if we do have, we are thinking of doing a tabletop version of it as well. So people,
Hmm.
they cannot meet and play. But let's say if they have bought the game from us, so we are thinking of a way where they can be invited to join that game and play with
Yeah,
other people as
that's
well, right?
fantastic. I mean, that's the best way to spread the awareness and kind of hear, get feedback from the uh, ground up, right? I mean, like, it's good, and that's really nice. So, what inspired you to make this game, man?
Oh, I think what inspired me was boredom of playing my 6 board games I have in my house to begin with. We
Okay.
had a lot of months to go, and thanks to my nephew, I think out of the 6 games, only 2 were playable because 4 of them we couldn't even find the parts. We're like, okay, we really can't find anything. And but I always like I'm into the creative field, and I always like enjoying making things and building things myself. And so that's
Right.
how we came across this version of the game where we could include 6 to 8 people to play as well. And then we did a lot of play testing. It took us good about 6 months to refine the game to what it is today.
Good.
And we are still like refining it so that we can accommodate additional players. So out of the box, we can only play 6 players.
Hmm.
But we are also now giving four blank cards to people. So like this is what we are doing. So
Hmm.
they're like 4 blank cards, and you can literally put 4 things. You can draw 4 things of your choice,
Very cool.
and make it a part of your game. And in the game sheet, right now we don't have a space to write those 4 things, but this is the game sheet. But
Okay.
we'll be giving you a where you can write those 4 things you've included, you wanted it to be a part of the game.
Hmm.
And that way, instead of 32 cards, you have 36 cards. So that allows you to play another additional player as well.
It's nice.
So
I mean, it's a very travel friendly family game. You can just put it in your bag, go on a holiday, right? Really nice. I mean, can I see the box? Is that like a prototype that you have?
yeah, in fact, I'll show you the status of prototype as well. So this was the first prototype. You can see.
Oh,
So this is
that's cute,
on black.
right?
Yeah. and that was the first prototype. We thought that black is not doing really well, and I'm really fond of black, so it's really like sad for me to see if black doesn't work out. So
Hmm.
someone from my team suggested, why don't we go with white? So this is what we got made in white, and but I just didn't like the finish of this entire thing, and then we ended up making another prototype, which is this black. So finally we're coming back to black, and we got this really
Spot
nice print
UV.
on top on spot UV. So it kind
Brilliant.
of gives us go as in when you move the box, and we all loved it because the feel of the box and the texture of the box is like really premium. And so yeah, this is what the final version of the box is right now.
Black is always like you can never go wrong. If I had an opportunity, I would just make all my 20-30 games in black.
Right.
So there is one game which I noticed, I stumbled upon recently. It's called Noah. Like Noah meaning black, right?
Okay.
Uh,
Right.
but in French, it's called something else, Neuar or something like that.
Fair enough.
It's completely black and white. It's a
Okay.
heavy strategy game. It's fully black and white. Just
Wow.
the some of the things in the on the cards, like a couple of resources or something like that, that is in color, and it really pops out. Okay, and I fell
It
in love
reminds me
with
of
that whole game.
City when you're talking about that, because Sin City is all black and white, and then you have these.
Right,
I mean, movie, right? And it was a
monochromatic. Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, I really love the art style of that. So maybe, yeah, black and white has been embedded in me since a while, I guess.
No, same here, man. It cuts out all the noise and the chaos, and it's just I used to do a ton of black and white photography before.
Oh
Um,
wow,
yeah, so this is so cool. I'm so glad that we got to have this quick chat. Can we
right.
quickly go through the components? Like, can you show us the
Absolutely.
art?
Um,
Are you going to be changing the
Artwork.
symbology and artwork in any way, or is
Yeah.
it pretty much
So
final?
these artworks will change, but we're gonna keep it mostly the names and everything. We're gonna keep it similar.
Hmm.
But the artwork will change a little bit more detailed, but same as line art. That's what we're gonna be keeping. These are the 32 cards. Like we said that we have some of things. We have like
Good.
then we have some animal like this.
Hmm.
Then we have a place card. Sorry, a place card like this,
Uh-huh.
and then we have a name cards like these. So these are the
Okay.
general kind of cards, and then that's the back illustration. So it's basically all the artwork that's gone into the game, and we've like compiled a few of them and made that
So
into
it's
the
going to
back.
be minimalistic line art kind of a
There's
style
a reason
itself.
why also we kept that. We found that a lot of times, like when we played some other games, I don't want to name them, but like
Hmm.
uh, with the color, you get an idea what that card is. So in case if you just get a hint, you just see, hey, you know what, the person's got a purple color. So you already know, what what that card that person must be having. So the whole idea of doing black and white was it's very difficult to actually, even if you get a quick look at the card, it's very difficult to establish what you just saw, because it's just like it doesn't allow you to know much detail apart from a black and white line art.
Right.
So
And it's
what we
it's like super quick. To communicate a particular uh, you know
absolutely
whatever
focus is
is
just
there
on
on the card. Yeah, you just look at
right.
it like that. Okay, done. It's quick,
So the
super
other
fast, man.
this is a game sheet that we're giving. So these are 50 game sheets over here, and they're all reusable. Like we advise you to use a pencil and an
Pencil.
eraser.
Right.
Pen is, if you use a pen, then obviously you cannot reuse it.
Hmm.
And the thickness of the paper is also 110 GSM, if I'm not
Oh
wrong, or 100
wow.
GSM.
Okay.
So,
That's
so it's
that's pretty
quite.
thick and premium.
In fact, like I wanted to show you. So these are some of. So these are the sheets we've been playing with, and it's all. I think it's the third time or fourth time we played, and it's like
Okay.
as good as we've like literally erased it, and it just stays very good.
Okay.
And these are the kind of pencils we are giving. So we're giving 4 pencils in the box. So they are all mechanical
Oh, they're
pencils. It
the
looks
oh okay.
so these are mechanical pencils, and the beauty of this pencil is there is no eraser on top. It looks like an eraser, but it's
Okay.
basically a sharpener, so you can
Okay.
sharpen
Oh, these are those thick lead ones, is it?
right thick lead one. So you get
Okay.
these refills very quickly. We also
Wow.
give an
I want those pencils. I love those.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's a little beauty to find this. I've been like looking for this for the longest time, and then we found someone in Nasik who was making it and exporting it. So he's very
Oh,
reluctant to actually giving us a
right,
domestic sale,
right.
and then somehow managed to get it and convince him to give us at
So
least a
can
few
you
of
show us
them.
the dice? Like, have you
Yes.
hand drawn it right now, or is it hand drawn?
Which one?
The dice,
This one?
huh?
No. So
So
this wouldn't die right now.
okay,
And so we are not too sure of the die. We want a little bigger die than this and a
hmm,
little heavier. So that would probably be in the final version of the game.
right,
So this is right now we got a die which was a little smaller because it
yeah.
doesn't. The only thing we don't like about
You
it is the
don't
weight.
feel the right.
Exactly.
A
So
20
we
mm will be good. Yeah,
Right. So this is 16 right
16
now. So
mm,
we are
correct.
keeping that to 20 and a good wooden finish because most of the materials that we are using and even the factory that we are getting to make the game and everything, they all are sustainable practices. So in case if there's any
Good,
leftover, it goes to recycling. So a lot of these products are actually made of recycled fabric, paper
material.
as well.
Very good,
That's what
very
we are
good.
trying to
Yeah, that's
keep
good.
that. Apart from that, you have the hiding sleeve, like I already told you, where you have to put these sheets in.
So what
Then
age group is this for, like roughly? Oh, that's the
uh,
rule book.
this is a rule book, but this we are changing. So right now it's very concise into one sheet. We're making into a double
A booklet,
flap.
right?
You
Yeah,
can
good idea.
more information, and we're going to be adding a little graphic as well, so people to maybe understand
Yeah,
better.
yeah,
So that's one
absolutely.
thing. Um, Sorry, you were asking something.
So what age group is it like? Like how long does it go for, and what age group is the
Okay,
game
so
for?
as far as our testing is concerned, anyone who is, let's say, above 9 is someone who can grasp the game better than, let's say, who's someone who's 8. But it's really depending on, how mature the kid is.
Hmm.
And as far as our test is concerned, every player that you add, you should add about close to between 7 and 10 minutes to the game.
Oh,
So if there are
okay.
two players, between 14 and 20 minutes. If it's three, then it's like 21 to 30. So it really depends on how many players are playing the game.
Okay, now I'm really curious. Like, can you give me like a quick run through, like the starting setup? You mentioned that you take 4 cards, pack it in the secret thing, and how does
So
the
the
turn order go? Like a quick overview of the turn order.
Fair enough. So these are the deck of cards. What you got to do is compile them into 4 different categories. So name, place, animal, thing. You got to select one card at random. So I'm just going to do it very quickly.
Right,
I
right.
don't even know. Uh, I'm taking the right cards, but I'm just having a
Ah,
look
that's
and
cool.
doing
So you just take 4 from each. I mean, one each of from each category, and then hide
one
it,
from
right?
each category. And without anyone seeing, you need to hide it over here in the
Got it.
sleeve so that no one can see it, right? And you keep it in the middle of the game.
And it's black,
Uh,
so no way
right.
of
And it's
knowing anything.
then whatever cards are there, you should obviously shuffle because now everything is like name, place, animal thing. So you need to shuffle it really well. So
Got
once
it.
you're done shuffling, so let's say if it's 3 of us playing, you distribute it in 3 ways. So right now, if I have 28 cards in hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
eventually after shuffling, I'll have one card which remains. Now we want to be fair to everyone. So we always suggest in case if there is an extra card or maybe 2 extra cards or 3 extra cards, depending on the number of players, you
Mm-hmm.
open it.
Okay.
So now what you know is basically, let's say in a 3 player game, you know at least 9 cards from your hand
Mm-hmm.
and at least one card from bottom. So you know already about 10 different cards that you are sure are not hidden in the sleeve,
Hmm.
right? So then go on to mark
Cross them off.
these, cross them up, and
Hmm.
obviously keep this hidden. You don't want people to see what you're marking and what you're not marking, right? And once that initial setup is done, so that's what the setup is to begin with.
Hmm.
And once that is set up, you need to roll the die. Okay. So if you roll, suppose if you roll one, you can ask for one card
Okay.
from any category. So it could be
Ah, so
name,
that's the use of the dice.
right?
Okay, got it.
Exactly. And then if you roll two, you can ask for 2 different category cards. So it could be name or place or animal, like
Hmm.
anything, right? You can't ask for 2 place things, basically. If you
Hmm.
roll a 3, you can ask for 3 different category. If you roll a 4, you can ask for 4 different category. Now, if you roll a 5, you basically have to skip a turn. So you cannot ask any question. If you
Okay.
roll a 6, you can randomly select any card from any player and see it and then return the card back to the player. So this is
Okay.
basically what does.
So that's
And
like the fixed action for 6. So you
right,
can
that's a
see.
fixed. I
Okay.
can just see one card and return the card to the player.
Okay.
So it could be luck, or you could be lucky or unlucky, because you might just end up seeing a card which you already know the player has.
Okay.
So you really need to you think which person you need to see it from, and then hope, and maybe also observe, like, which cards you've already seen, if they have not reshuffled their cards.
Hmm.
If you have the cards, you know which card you have.
So that's very interesting. You using a typical D6 dice gives
Right.
you a lot of opportunity to expand on the rules. Like, for example, 6 can be assigned any action, right? It could be you pick 2 cards from the opponent, or add it to
Absolutely. So
your hand, or it could be
you can
anything.
customize the way you want to. In fact, we have an alternate rule as well. So
Hmm.
a lot of people, they want this game to be a little longer game. They don't want it to be a 15-minute or 20-minute game. So
Hmm.
in that situation, what we've told them, that you can shuffle the deck of cards and choose any 4 cards at random. So it doesn't need to be one name or one place or one animal or one thing. Now it's basically any 4 cards from any category.
Sorry.
So it
Hmm.
could be 3 cards from name and 1 card from place, and you'll never get to know till the end of the game.
Hmm.
So that way, you always are guessing, and you have to make sure that you've crossed every section before you take your final guess. And the
Hmm.
way the guessing works is also in your turn. It could be before rolling the die or after rolling the die. You have to announce the 4 cards you think are missing.
Hmm.
Then you can only see that 4 cards. And if you're right, you can show it to them and you win the game. If you're wrong, then you put the cards back, and
And
you're
you're out
not
of the
allowed to
game.
roll, and
Yeah.
you cannot ask questions. But let's say if any other player is asking for a certain card, and if you have the certain card, you still have to show it to them. So you kind of become a passive player till someone else guesses the right cards, or everyone guesses it wrong. So that's how this game would
So
play out.
typically, for how many rounds does it go? Like 9 rounds, 10 rounds?
Um, it really depends. Actually, for 2 player, it's very quick, because it's just 2 of you and you already know half the cards. But we established this rule for 2 players, so you can literally mix any 4 cards. So it becomes slightly more difficult. For 3 player onwards, it becomes maybe about 12 rounds or 13 rounds.
Yeah, that's
For four
decent.
players, it becomes maybe 15,
Hmm.
16 rounds. It really depends, but it's like close to between 12 and 20 rounds. I would say between 3 and 6 players. So that's the number of rounds you expect. Unless you're really lucky in getting to know, because whenever you roll a 1, everyone knows which card it is, right? Because even if
Hmm.
you ask and someone has to show in secret, they already know which card you're showing. So that's a bonus point that everyone gets after someone rolls a 1.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that also adds the time element to the game.
That sounds good, man. I'm just pretty excited about this game because one, you managed to conceptualize it, play test it,
Right.
and it's something which takes you back 20, 30 years. It's like a time travel game, and it's on Kickstarter. It's like crazy. I mean, this
That
is
was
this
quite
is
a
awesome.
tough job for us to get it on Kickstarter, because being from India, and then not. So I didn't know about anyone when I launched my game on Kickstarter, and we just did it with friends and family, and we tried to get a round of funding. We did some advertising. We got some more backing through that, and then I started to get to know a lot of you guys from the community, and that really helped me to get a lot of traction as well. So we're almost at the verge of closing the fundings, and hope that gets funded really soon. So that's where we are at right now.
So, how are you planning to sell the game? Are you registering a company and self-publishing it on Amazon by yourself, or what are your plans?
Right. So that's the initial idea. Since it's the first game and we are like really new entrants to this whole gaming world, we are planning to first sell it under a self-publication, which is called Mind in Box Games. That's
Okay,
what we represent, and we are looking to form a company eventually,
fabulous.
and then just publish games from that and have it on our website and on Amazon. We're not looking to go right now in local stores, because that's not what the module we are comfortable with at this point of time. But you never know. Maybe after this pandemic, you might want to be in a few more places. But that's where we are
Right,
at, right?
right.
So this should be available on Amazon, but much later than the backers get. So we expect the backers to get it by November.
Hmm.
But that's a long estimation. But we hope to ship it in August, because we already have closed the game quite a bit,
Hmm.
and 3 months after it goes to the backers, when everything is done, is when we plan to have it launched on Amazon as well.
Yeah, sounds good. So, two things. One, I just want to see the Kickstarter page with you,
Sure.
right? Just give me
Uh,
1 second. I'll just open it on my browser.
sure.
Great stuff, man. Great stuff. I mean, uh, like taking a game from conceptualization, like in forget conceptualization, like idea, it keeps you awake for like 2 3 days, and you're like, damn, I got to do something, and like get the pen on the paper, and that feeling is awesome, right?
So this game was actually lying with us for a month, and we were like, I was constantly looking at it. I kept it purposely in front of me on the bed, and be like, okay, every time I wake up, I need to see this because then I have this pressure of doing something, and that kind of helped me.
Yeah, we made a wristband so that I get up every day and I'm like, okay, 1 second, just figuring this out because I have multiple screens open, web desktops. Okay. All right, Google Chrome. Yep. You're able to see, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I hope Kickstarter opens. Hmm. This was the last thing I checked on the site. Wow.
Looks
Oops.
pretty cool.
Oh yeah. So we were planning to make some action figures, right? So these guys were like our. All right. So what do I search for?
The animal thing.
Name place animal thing. Okay. Aha.
Oh, we're on 85, so we were 83 before this. That's a good thing.
Super cool. All right. Let's see if I can make it a full screen. Wonderful, man. 153 backers, 4,289. That is so cool. Okay, am I logged in here?
I think you are.
I have no clue. Oh, okay. It says log out. Yeah. Back this project. Let's back it. Okay. This is the one?
This is the one. That's the one where you get one game, and then we have for two as well. So whichever you prefer.
Okay, you get 2 boxes.
Right. But you can go with one as well.
Nice. Okay. I'm going to go with one. So you ship it to India or
Ship it to India as well. I mean, it's easier for us to ship it to India than any other country right now. So, but we do ship to India.
okay, I'll just round it off. Cool. I wanted to
Awesome.
do this in with you. Uh,
Right.
oh, nice. Free shipping. Yay.
The shipping is
Cool.
something that will be, but it's not going to be that much. It's going to be very reasonable as well. So, because then you'll be getting a survey from Backer Kit that
Right.
we're working with.
Okay. Now, is it done? Oh, okay. Sorry.
Uh,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Let's do this. Is it done?
Awesome. Woo-hoo. So we have crossed next to you.
Yay. All right.
Awesome.
So let's take a look at this. I mean, I didn't even take a look at the page.
Yeah, sure.
How do I go back?
I think just hit back 2 times and it probably should take you back to the page.
Oops.
Right. Oh, but yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah. So this is the campaign, right? The story
Right.
is best played with 3 to 5. Lovely. Great stuff, man. I mean, you really put in the effort to make a GIF and stuff.
Yes. That took us a lot of time.
Yeah.
We made a couple more, but we haven't used it yet.
Getting the game to completion and then making a campaign on Kickstarter is like a
Another
mad.
game.
Yeah, seriously. It's like, I love the iconography and stuff. So what art would you be adding? Like, would it be in color or something, or will it be the same thing
No,
but
we wanted to change a few of the artworks, maybe few
hmm,
of the names and thing cards as well. So we wanted to include some other things instead of what's right now added over there. But these are very minimal changes. It's not going to take away anything from the game the way it looks right now. It will
hmm,
practically look the same. So we added this as well. So a lot of times, so we have had this friend, actually two of them, who have kids who are around 12 and 13, and they told us, like, it's a great way of actually teaching them how to talk in sentences. So if they wanted to ask for two cards, we've told them to form a sentence and ask for two cards. So
it's
that
very
way,
nice.
it's a little better playing with kids as well.
Yeah, it makes it very interesting, uh, I
Yes,
mean,
thanks
I
to him.
have been looking out for a game which gives this kind of a thing because uh, I don't think there's any game where you'd actually phrase the questions in this way, right?
Right.
Brilliant. Cool stuff, man.
The
I
actual
love the
product shot.
cards, the product shots. You really work hard aligning them and all that.
Right.
Very nice. So a regular D6 will do. So you just need one dice in the game, right? Like,
Just need one dice in the game. Yeah.
okay, got it. Wonderful, man. Congratulations. And I think you'll easily cross this. Not a big deal.
Let's also keep fingers crossed right now.
Yeah, you
We've
just
been
need like
trickling.
what, 35 backers, right?
Yes, I need 35 backers right now.
Yeah, let's do this. Okay, I'm going to share this with my community and let's see what they do. Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
All right. So I'm just going to stop the share.
Right.
And yep, we're back on the screen.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you so much. Really, really enjoyed talking to you today.
Same here, and
Um,
thanks a lot as well. You've been really helpful.
oh, I mean, we have to look out for each other, right, in this community because it's so
Right.
small and it's like we can't believe that we are actually doing this in 2020 2021. This is ridiculous, right? I mean, we should have done this 20 years ago.
Much right.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and
it's a start, right? And it's a good way to start right now. If
yeah,
not.
and India is going through a massive uh, shift. I wouldn't call it a paradigm shift, but it's more like, there's a slow behavioral change that's happening where they're actually consuming more board games because of the pandemic. I don't know, but generally they're more open to board games. Even before the pandemic, we had a lot of families hit our stalls, and we'd set up a stall in uh, some of these art festivals and Comic Con and stuff like that, and we saw a major spike in the number of Indians who would just come and say, "Thank you so much for actually doing this." I'm like, I should be thanking them for showing interest in what we are doing.
Such a dying. It was actually a very dying space where people have stopped playing board games because everything was on mobile and everyone wants to play a game on
Exactly.
mobile. I think it's a great way to get off screen, and I think the number of hours we are spending in front of the screen is just too much, and that thing needs to change. And with board games, you also connect with people one on one. I think that's really important, and that's something that's missing in everyone's life. And
Right. Exactly. And you're creating memories.
right, absolutely.
Yeah. So, there'll be so much of player interaction in this. You're like, I can't believe you asked me this, and I was so close to winning it, and you took it away, kind of
Right.
a thing. Yeah.
Good thing about this game, especially, is good you brought it up. We've had nights which would never end, like because everyone wanted to win a game before they go to sleep. So that's something to look out for. And that's not
Fantastic,
what just
man.
this game. I'm sure it's with most of the games. You want to win and go to sleep, right? Because it's just a thing. But yeah,
No, so I was actually thinking, instead of um, so this is the moat that you have built in your game, right? The moat that you've built, which cannot be copied or which cannot be ripped off, right? Is basically, you know, it's the theme can be copied, but the thing is, like, like they have to phrase a question, and you roll
right.
a dice, and you have to, put that together. That's very interesting.
It is because
That's
it's a challenging thing because let's say if you have to just ask for a name, and let's say the name is Frankenstein, right? It's very difficult to just form a sentence with Frankenstein and keeping all the things and places and animal away, right? Like, you can't say Frankenstein sitting on a chair, like, but you have to just say, "Hey, are you Frankenstein?" So that's so it's just about having the presence of mind of forming sentences for exactly what you want to ask. So, but let's say if you're asking for two cards, let's say if it's a Frankenstein and chair, then you have to include both of them into a sentence and keeping any other thing and keeping any other place or animal away from that particular
Right.
question or sentence.
Right. So, see, I can think of multiple variants of the game, but then nothing will give you this particular experience because, like, you could probably, instead of name, place, and animal thing, you could just put red, green, blue, and yellow and have,
Right.
different artwork or modern art of some particular artist. Or who knows, right? Um, End of the day, this particular thing puts words into your mouth, right?
Right.
Though it is a symbol, it puts a word in your mouth, so they're all nouns in some way.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's a brilliant thing. I mean, more deeper I'm looking at it, I can actually see layers and layers of fun elements over there.
Exactly. Like, in fact, with friends, when we play, we try to make it a little bit of NSFW, but that's not something I'm going to discuss. But like that's something. So you have to make sure that people are
Right.
laughing to answer your question. If no one laughs and they think that okay, your statement is really lame, it's basically as good as rolling a five because you can we're dissing you and you cannot ask anymore. So
Right.
so you have to make people laugh when asking something or telling them something about anything, including
So
any
that's very
character.
nice. Deduction games is definitely one of the genres which I'm absolutely intrigued.
Mhm.
I haven't designed a deduction game yet, um,
Okay.
but I am looking at it. Like some of the deduction games we absolutely love playing right now is like there's one game called Love Letter, and it's just 18
Mhm.
cards, and it
Right.
keeps you busy for like an hour or so. It's crazy. And there's one more called Citadel. There are many games like that, all social deduction games, and um, absolutely loving the genre. And the most fun game came from the most unexpected category. Okay, like there was one game called Outfox, designed by this company called Game Right.
I play that every day with my nephew. So he comes every morning and like, hey, Chacha, I want to play this game. I said, okay, fine.
It's such
Play
a
this
brilliant
game.
game, right? So I was actually explaining the mechanics to one of the interns who works with us. Basically, how to build a social deduction game, right, from ground up. So I was telling her you
Good.
have to go backwards.
And it's the whole thing is a cooperative game. It's very like it's such a nice thing because you're not competing against anyone, and you're basically helping each other to solve the entire mystery. So I think it's a
So is the
great game.
sheet of paper open to everybody? The things that you mark, or is it like you
Oh, you
fold
have
it
to
and
hide
keep
it.
it? You have to hide
Yeah,
it, right?
you have to fold it and you have to hide the hand.
Hmm.
We're thinking in case if we do find, let's say, some extra funding beyond the 5,000, we might just include some screens as well so that it just becomes easier for someone to hide. But
Okay.
it's as of right now, it wasn't necessary to do that because it's a very small piece of paper you can basically hide with your hand, so you don't really need to
Right.
need a screen. But maybe we could
So
add that as
one
well.
thing that I'm really wish you could probably add as an expansion in the future or something like that. Give a choice of actions. So in that particular game, you choose one card, and that will be the action for number six, right? For example,
Fair enough. Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. So it's like a adds another layer of variability per game.
Mhm.
They'll be like, okay, damn, this is going to be tough, kind of a thing, and they're looking forward to, okay, well, how are we going to deal with now that we have this kind of a superpower? So
Right. We were
that
thinking of actually adding another die, which would have enhanced the way you play the game. But that's something anyone can do. So we're going to be including those things in our blogs and in our website, so people can come forth and back. So it was almost like you need to act it out. Like let's say
exactly.
if you have to sing it out, like or
Right.
you have to like you're a movie star and you're like acting a particular scene of any particular movie of a famous actor and you're trying to
So
do
you
it.
know what?
So
This is on the sidelines. So we design a lot of games for this company called Win Magic Toys. Okay.
Okay.
And these guys primarily were the distributors, and they distribute to like 3,000 stores across the world or something like that. Crazy. So they are the ones who brought Peppa Pig to India, and
Oh wow. Okay.
Paw Patrol, and there are a lot of other things, right? PJ Masks and stuff like that. So they took a stance last year that they want to uh, make their own labels like board games instead of distributing something.
Mhm.
Get it manufactured locally, designed locally, blah blah blah. So we started doing that, and it's been a great experience working with them. So I mean, we've designed like plenty of games for them. Lost count. So, so would you be interested to pitch this game to them? Because they are looking for a strategy game,
We
a
can
family
always.
game. Yeah.
It's always a good thing to get to know people and probably see where they can take this particular game. So it's
Right.
also a first job. So it would be very nice to get to know people who are looking for games.
So they're not going to distribute your game. They might buy the game from you. You might
Right.
have to sell it to them. But one thing is, or you could probably get into a license and a royalty kind of a contract.
Right.
So you don't have to manufacture it. You don't have to sell it. That headache is gone. Yeah.
Absolutely. I can
And
feature on the next games, I guess.
right, it'll allow you to do a lot more. Um,
Right.
so yeah, let if you're interested, probably once the Kickstarter and everything is done and you see the graph, right? At any
Right.
point in time, you feel that uh, you want someone else to take over the reins, just let me know. Okay,
Absolutely.
I'll tell these guys, and they'll love this. I mean, they'll absolutely love this. So it's
Awesome.
right up their alley. They will be manufacturing like 8,000 copies or some crazy numbers like that, and then push
He's
it
getting to
across the
keep
world.
having copies of these for me. So yeah, why not?
Right. Super cool, man. Sounds good. Great talking to you. Thank you so much for your time. And
Thanks.
it's nice to know, like face to face. I mean, this is the closest we
Right.
can get to a face to face conversation. Just the coffee and tea is missing. That's it. So
Right.
otherwise,
But we have games. That's good enough. We don't
yeah.
need coffee.
Yep. Yep. All right. Hi
Hope
fi from
to see you.
Bangalore and best of luck. Yeah. All
That's
right.
the
Chalo.
happy.
Yep. Bye, man.
Thank you.
Bye. Take care.
Thank you.